Hey folks, Jeff Scanlon here. I wanted to take a moment and first of all, I hope that you are all doing well and staying inside in this quarantine and getting through. It's a tough time for all of us. I wanted to take a moment though because one of the things that I have noticed since being quarantined in the house is that there are two different kinds of people or two different kinds of groups. And I've noticed that there's one group that is playing this victim. And that is that they're stuck in their house, they're stuck at home with their kids, they're stuck at home with their wife, they can't go anywhere, they really can't do anything. So they decide to sit and just watch TV and maybe binge on Netflix and eat what they want and take lots of naps and just kind of sit there and let things kind of go by. And then there's the other group who's really trying to do something with the time that they have while being quarantined. You see, I've always found that people, whenever we always look for ways of being least resistant, and that is that we always look for the easy way out of everything. And we can still achieve a lot more things even while we're quarantined at home. I mean, for example, how good is your marriage? How good are all your relationships? How is your relationship with your wife? How is your relationship with your significant other? How is your relationship with your kids? What do you want to achieve financially? What do you want to achieve as far as your health, your weight? You see, I've noticed that this is actually a good time to really start thinking about how to achieve more. Because what's going to happen is that we're all going to go back to work. And then there's some things that you have to think about. First of all, let's say that you're quarantined at home. How can you make your relationship with your spouse better? Spend more time. How about your child? Same thing. You see, we haven't spent all the time with our significant others and our spouse and our kids. Now is the time to do it. This is a perfect time for us to actually spend more time, to have those relationships, to start building them back up. What about things like our weight? Are you going to sit back and just eat and complain and moan? No. Well, how about watching what we eat? Because you know you're going to be quarantined, so you have to make a little bit more of a mental picture of that in your mind and saying, you know what, I can't eat quite as much. I can't go anywhere. I certainly can't. I like going to the gym. I can't do that. So I take walks and I also ride bikes. What about your finances? Everyone's hurting right now with finances because a lot of people aren't working. Well, this might be that time for you to kind of think ahead a little bit. If this happened, maybe what you can do is think about, what can I do to better my financial situation when things do get better? For example, I have a friend of mine who recently was saying how he didn't have a lot of money. And when we were talking about what his daily plan was and what he did, his daily routine, he basically was telling me that he went and had 2 Starbucks coffees a day and he went out to lunch 3 times a week. And I was thinking to myself going, let's see, that's $5 for each coffee. And it's also another $10 to $15 every time he goes out to lunch. Well, if you put that together, he's talking $50 or $60 a week that you don't have to really spend. Maybe it's a time to make that adjustment. Maybe that's that time to think of, when you do go back to work, do I really need to have all those coffees? Do I really need to go out to lunch as much as I do? If you're worried about the money, there's still a little bit more you can do about it. What about going back to work? Have you taken the time to think about, maybe this is a good time for me to reflect on if there's a promotion that you want? Are you doing something right now that's going to help you or actually steer you towards that direction of getting that promotion? Maybe this is a time where you're like, you know what? I don't like this job. Maybe now you can work a little bit harder and think about a job that you do want. Maybe you can start planning for that. You see, there's lots of different things that we can do. There's lots of things that we haven't done. And we have the time to do them now, so why not? We can clean our house. When was the last time we cleaned our house? I just sat the other day And I actually cleaned out my entire pantry and reorganized the whole thing. Why? Because I have the time now to do it. I've spent more time reading. I've spent more time with my wife. I've spent more time with my kids. And yes, we have a pretty good close relationship, but it can always be better. What things are you doing right now where you can do a little bit more than you thought you could, that are helping in all these areas of your life that maybe they weren't so good to begin with? Just something to think about. Again, please stay well, stay safe, and stay inside. We'll talk to you later. Bye.